Hey everyone, my name is Nathan, and this is
Brooklyn.
and welcome to Hail. We have made it. The entire summer, I have been discussing every single Harry Potter movie, talking about what I love about the first movie, and now today is the 10-year anniversary of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. So today, this live stream, we will be discussing what we love about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. We'll also be talking about Part 1, although it's the anniversary for Part 2. But we're treating this as a video where we can talk about both parts of Harry Potter. So first off, everyone who is in the chat, welcome. Glad to have you guys here. Make sure to leave your comments, whoever's here. We want this to be a discussion where we can all talk about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So the plan for tonight is that Brooklyn and I will be talking about our experience with the movie, and then after that we'll read a few comments and hear what you guys have to say about your experience with the movie. So first off, the kind of the cool thing is this last summer, I reread all the books and rewatched all the movies, and the first time in several years. Whereas Brooklyn, she is currently reading all the books. She's on the 5th one right now, on chapter 24, so very far into it. And then she has seen all the movies for the first time. And so it'll be kind of interesting to see the different perspectives of how I felt rewatching it and then her thoughts on seeing it for the first time. So without further ado, let's talk about Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, starting with Deathly Hallows Part 1. Brooklyn, how about you give us some of your thoughts on Part 1? So when you saw it for the first time, what scenes stood out to you? I guess, like, what to you did you like about Part 1?
Okay, so the first, like, when all the Harrys meet together, I think that's hilarious.
The seven Potters, yes.
The 7 Potters. And then also, I think it's so sudden when Hedwig dies and Mad-Eye Moody. Like, it was so sudden. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Wow, I was not expecting that. And then
by the way, spoilers for Deathly Hallows.
I love the silver doe scene. When Harry sees the silver doe, he like walks after it, and then he's like, "Oh, you must have conjured the Patronus." And Ron's like, "No."
Yeah.
And Ron finds a sword of Gryffindor and saves Harry's life. So it's pretty cool.
Lots of great scenes in Part 1. Yeah, I have made a separate video on this channel where I talk about why I love Deathly Hallows Part 1 so much. And so definitely make sure to check out that video so you hear more of my detailed thoughts. Really quickly, before you move on, I'm just going to share a few of the comments from the chat so far. Bernardo, welcome to the chat. Love the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. I can watch them back to back no matter what. I completely agree. In fact, we'll talk about that a little later in the live stream. Oh my gosh, this tagline. So, Boo, I don't know if you know this, but when Part 2 came out, the tagline for it was "It all ends." And it was so emotional, especially anticipating the movie and knowing that it was ending. Saddest thing ever. And then, okay, hey, what's up? What's up, Joey? Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, Dobby dies is what Bernardo's trying to say. I get that, man. Autocorrect is brutal to me. Gavin's in the chat. Always love having Gavin in the live streams. Man, I was 6 when it came out, and I watched it for the first time in 2015, and that feels like forever ago, but it is such a great movie. Yeah, 2015, 6 years ago, and still just a super good movie. For me, Part 1 is one of my favorites because I love the feeling of being on the run. I love that the characters are being hunted. This is the only movie in the whole series where they don't even go to Hogwarts. It is solely on the run. They visit the Ministry of Magic. I say visit as if it's like a jolly old visit to the Ministry. No, it's a very chaotic visit to the Ministry of Magic. And there's also arguments that happen. There's disagreements. There's a great scene in Godric's Hollow, emotional. I don't know. I just love everything about this one. It's a slower moving movie, but it totally works for me. Was there anything else you wanted to say about Part 1?
Well, I was just going to say Dobby's death is so sudden. Like, you see the dagger, and then Harry's like, "We made it. We're okay. We're alive."
Yeah.
And then you see Dobby. Harry.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Like,
that was an awful impression, but...
Where's your little Dobby
so
toy?
Where'd he go?
He's probably hiding somewhere. He's like the elf on the shelf. Oh my gosh, okay, I found him. So Dobby's actually not dead. We have him right here. Comment if you think this is not creepy. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
It's a little creepy, but anyways.
You should see the stuffed animal. It scares me.
Yeah, she has a dagger coming in the mail that we're going to put right here. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's so sad. But here's her little Dobby figure. You can just awkwardly hold that now.
Dobby is a real.
No, but for real, Dobby's death hits me hard. The first time I saw it in theaters, oddly enough, I was more affected by Hedwig's death, but I was still affected by Dobby's death. Like every rewatch, it's so sad. And the Dobby's Farewell soundtrack on Spotify is, well, not like strictly on Spotify, but just the score is like one of my favorite tracks from all of Harry Potter. I absolutely love it. It's super sad and just very peaceful. It's a very peaceful send-off to such an innocent character. Really quickly, Gavin says, I still remember watching the part 2 trailer with my mom and sister at home when it dropped. Yeah, I remember the first time I saw it too. I think we were doing some chores. I think it was a Saturday maybe that I saw it. I don't remember, but we were doing some chores and I had a quick break and I see that the trailer drops for, it was part 1 and part 2. It was that dual trailer where it talks about both parts coming out. And I remember, I've talked about this in other videos before, but I remember kind of being disappointed that it was being split into 2 parts. It was for selfish reasons because I didn't want to wait for, I think it was like 8 months or so to see part 2. But in the end, I'm so glad that they split these movies. And the 2-part trailer is amazing. I saw part 1 in theaters and remember I did not like it. And I was so engaged then for whatever reason. I didn't see part 2 in theaters because I was in camp, but saw it on DVD. So I was 11 to 12. Nice. So yeah, it seems to be the popular opinion that part 1 isn't the best one, but personally it's one of my favorites. I'll be re-ranking the movies on Saturday night on a live stream. So you'll see where it ranks on that night, but it's always been one of my favorites. This comment is really depressing. Dobby is happy to be with his friend, Harry Potter. Oh, his last words. Brooklyn here is like on the verge of tears. Oh my gosh, look at his picture. It's baby Vision. I love your profile picture. I remember the end of the trailer was Voldy going, Avada Kedavra!
Oh
gosh. Dobby's death is so well done. Funny, I brought Dobby Lego with me. LOL. Never read the books, but seeing him die makes me so sad, and it's so unexpected. Yeah, I remember I was in 8th grade when part 1 came out, and I remember before seeing it, being at school and like talking to my friends, like, "Oh, are you going to the premiere tonight?" We lived in a small town, so like if there was ever a movie premiere, that was the place to be. And I remember after seeing it the next day at school, all of us were like, "No, Dobby!" And it really annoyed me when some of the kids were like, "Dobby." I'm like, "No, it's pronounced Dobby, not Dobby." Anyways, enough of my rant. I was saying my mom did not like it. I was engaged. I was typing fast. Sorry. Oh, well, no, you're totally good, man. Yeah, a lot of people just don't care for part 1 too much because it's a slower moving film, but I'm glad that you are engaged because that's exactly how I feel. I'm always very engaged when I watch it. But anyways, other scenes from part 1. Is there anything else you want to talk about from part 1? The big focus of the video is part 2, so I kind of want this to just like ease into part 2. But is there anything else you want to mention?
Yeah, it's number 3 on my list. So
nice.
1's Chamber of Secrets, 2 Prisoner of Azkaban, and 3 Deathly Hallows Part 1. No, wait, Deathly Hallows Part 2
is 3 and 4 is part 1. I was gonna say I thought part 2 was your favorite. Okay, nice. So wait, it goes Chamber, Prisoner, and then part 2, and then part 1.
Yeah.
And then is it order?
So on. What?
And then is it Order of the Phoenix? No, you're fine. You're fine. There's Brooklyn's list on the top of her head. Yeah, a friend of mine in like 3rd grade was trying to tell me it's pronounced Dobby, and I'm like, no. Yeah, exactly. When people say Dobby, I'm not going to lie, I die a little inside. Like, I remember there was this girl I had a huge crush on in 8th grade, and she said Dobby, and I lost a lot of respect for her that day. Still haven't told her to this day. I think I should just randomly text her and be like, hey, it's Nathan Hale from school. It's pronounced Dobby. I should just, like, say that out of the blue and not say anything else. But, yeah, Dobby's death is definitely probably the biggest memorable moment of the movie. I don't know. That's saying a lot, though, because there are a lot of good scenes. So really briefly, This movie, for all those people who think this movie is slow, let me just counter that really quickly with a number of scenes that are not slow in the slightest. The opening scene where the Muggle teacher is hanging above the air and she gets killed by a snake. If that's slow to you, what's like not slow? The Seven Potter scene, very exciting. Let's see, the Death Eater showing up to the wedding and them apparating, leaving, them going to the cafe to get some coffee and being attacked by 2 Death Eaters, them being on the run, them going to the ministry, infiltrating the ministry and getting attacked. Then, I mean, do you want me to keep going? There's also Malfoy Manor. There's the exciting story of the 3 brothers and the amazing animated storytelling. There's the Nagini scene in Godric's Hall. I already said Malfoy Manor.
Also, Obliviate the scene.
Oh, the beginning, like the very opening.
It's so
sad. It's so cheesy. Yeah, the Obliviate scene, Deathly Hallows Part 1. This is something I'm actually really glad you mentioned Obliviate, because Part 1 of Deathly Hallows, I think, is my favorite opening of any Harry Potter film. I love the opening to Deathly Hallows Part 1. Harry and Hermione dance scene makes my heart warm. That's such a sweet scene because, like, we know that they're not like in love or anything, but it's straight up just 2 friends. Fun. Yeah, it's just 2 friends in an awful situation trying to find some happiness. People who call Dobby Dobby are dopey. Yes. NickTube video, you should run for president in 2024. And that should be your slogan. Dobby fans are dopey. All right, so I think we've discussed our Deathly Hallows Part 1, how amazing it is. Oh, I also love seeing Dolores Umbridge back. You guys know my love for Umbridge. If this was an edited video, I would show this right now and insert the meow. But anyways, the finale is amazing too. Great cliffhanger and really made me excited for Part 2. So anyways, we are now going to discuss Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. You're a weirdo. Hedwig's totally moving. So I got my journal here, and some of you know this about me. If you watch my Half-Blood Prince video, you'll probably kind of catch on, but I've kept a journal throughout my life, and I have the day that I saw Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. So, dear journal, July 14th, 2011, it's the 14th because it was a midnight premiere. So, it's on the 14th. I saw it on the 15th at midnight. Dear journal, tonight is the night the Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 movie comes out. Caitlin and I, and then my other sisters. Oh, I say Caitlin and I, and then my other 2 sisters aren't going because they're chilling in California with Grandma and Grandpa. Caitlin and I already have our tickets for the midnight premiere, back when midnight premieres were a thing. Today, Caitlin and I tried watching as many Harry Potter movies as we could. We only got to watch the 1st, 3rd, and 7th Part 1, which in my book, like, those are 3 great movies to watch before the premiere. We waited for Harry Potter for about 3 hours. I remember that while we were in line, I saw a lot of friends from school in Harry Potter costumes, like robes. They had their wands. Some people had like the scars painted on and Harry Potter glasses. And yeah, so that was really fun. And then in the theater, I sat by Caitlin, 2 of my friends, and a weirdo. I won't mention that part, but apparently I sat by a weirdo. And then I say the 3-hour wait was worth it. I love this movie. It explained everything. Bye. I like how big I said bye. But anyways, I wanted to share that firsthand account of me seeing it on the premiere night. And I wish I would have gone into a little bit more detail on my thoughts, but I think I was just very shook seeing it because I didn't read the books before I saw all the movies. So seeing the movie on premiere night, on opening night, was like my first experience with that story. But Brooklyn, you saw it for the first time just like maybe 2 weeks ago. What were your thoughts? Seeing Part 2, you've come to love Harry Potter as we've watched it this summer. When you saw Part 2, like, how did you feel?
Okay, so when it opens where like it shows Dobby's tombstone, I think that is so sad. But also
Here lies Dobby.
Yeah, a free elf.
Yep.
I love that part where it says they added the free elf. And
excuse me.
I also love escaping from Gringotts. I think that like is adventure packed, and like how Bellatrix's like whole vault is like multiplying, and they're like drowning in cups and stuff. It's like so crazy. And the goblin's like, ha, I betrayed you.
Yeah, he's like, I said I'd get you in. I didn't say anything about getting you out. It's like, come on, Griphook, you tool!
Like, the dragon is so well done. Like, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's so many scenes in that movie. Gosh.
I love when Griphook betrays them, he's like, well, at least we still have this one. And I can't remember the goblin's name. It's like, at least we still have this goblin. And the goblin gets like roasted, and Ron's just like, that's unfortunate. Like, even on to the 8th movie, we're still getting great jokes from Ron. So that's amazing. Okay, so a few quick comments, then we'll continue talking about part 2. Peter, hello. I was just talking to you on Instagram. Excuse me. Hey, Nate, sitting with the book next to me, and is The Prince's Tale the best chapter in the entire series, in your opinion? Oh my gosh, The Prince's Tale. Amazing chapter. Oh, man. It's right here. We'll pull it out in this one. No, it's fine. I have my anniversary edition right here. So if anyone who hasn't read the books is wondering what Peter is talking about, The Prince's Tale is the story of Snape and how he was the good guy all along. It's not going to show up very well, but this is a picture of of Lily, Severus, and Petunia on a playground as kids. And so it is one of the longest chapters in all of Harry Potter. Might even be the longest one of the whole series. It's a very long chapter, but it's because it's filled with so much great information. As for my favorite chapter of the series, that's a bold thing to say. It very well could be, but Peter, I would definitely have to think about that a little bit more. But I think that chapter has a great argument behind it to be the best chapter of the whole series. All right, Bernardo, what I love about part 2 is that it has the sense of urgency, and everything we know they don't need. Oh, and everything we know they don't need to set up anymore. Yeah. All of that is there, and the score may be my favorite. Using Lily's theme is masterful. Yes. So before Brooklyn even saw part 2, I should say, did I show you Lily's theme? I think I did. You
played it in your car.
I totally played it because I was just having a Lily's theme day where I was like, I gotta listen to it. So I'm like, Brooklyn, you don't know this Harry Potter score yet, but I'm gonna tell you right now that it is one of the best. I turned it on, and I think even in that moment,
I was like, I love this.
Yeah, she loved it. It was amazing. So the fact that the movie starts off with Lily's theme, and then you hear it several more times, so emotional. And I think it uses Lily's theme in The Prince's Tale too. So that's awesome. But there are also other variations of Lily's theme in the movie. I don't know if you noticed this, but when they're escaping Gringotts, it sounds like Lily's theme. It's not as calm as it is normally, but it's like an exciting version of it. Next time you guys watch it, just watch the Gringotts escape scene, specifically when they're like on the dragon and it's showing them like with the whole town. It's playing a variation of Lily's theme. It's really cool. Hey, thank you so much, man. Thanks for joining too. For those who don't know, this is a reference to the 4th book. Yeah. And 5th. Really all of them after the 4th one, because Hermione never lets go of that. I was actually donating plasma the other day, selling plasma. And the person who was sticking me with the needle, he was like, hey, I like your shirt. And I was like, hey, Harry Potter fan right there. And then the other person was there who was like monitoring. She was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen a Dare shirt since like elementary. And I'm like, it's not Dare. It's a reference to Dare, but it's not Dare. SPEW. Anyways, okay, so Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. I shared my journal of like seeing it for the first time. So we talked about like the first time seeing it, but this is the 10-year anniversary. And so there were so many other rewatches for me. And I think, Brooklyn, you've seen it already again, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't you rewatch it?
I saw Part 1 and Part 2 in the same day.
Oh, you rewatched both of them? Yeah, okay. So what Brooklyn and I did is every time I would read a book, we would watch the movie following whatever book I finished. And for Deathly Hallows, it was a treat because we didn't have to wait for me to finish the book. When I got to page 500 of the book, which is right around where Part 1 ends, that's when we could watch the movie. And then I finished Part 2 in about 2 days or so, and they were very excited for me, to finish it so that we could all watch it together. But anyway, so we watched Part 2, and then a week or two later, you watched both parts in one day.
Again.
Can't blame her. They're great. Which reminds me, so Bernardo, earlier in the chat, he said, I'm going to show it one more time. He said, love Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2. I can watch them back to back no matter what. I love that you said that because I have another journal entry this is from February of 2013. So this is more than a year after Part 2 was released. And I just was kind of like reminiscing on the Harry Potter release. And so I mentioned how Harry Potter was mine and my other sister, Caitlin's, favorite movie. And let me see. I'm trying to find the right place. So before the premiere, we watched the trailer. I put in my journal 100,000 times. Obviously not that many times, but really close to it. Even to this day, I still watch those trailers all the time. We changed our desktop screen every 2 or 3 hours leading up to the premiere. We would have like Neville Longbottom's poster, and then we'd have Professor McGonagall's poster, then Ginny's, so Fred and George, Ron, Hermione, Harry, Voldemort. And I think we changed it to Harry right before we went to the movie.
Oh, wow.
And so it was like the big one. And then my Facebook profile picture was like Ron Weasley. Good times. But let's see. Oh, and then I said Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2. This is as of February 16th, 2013. Part 1 and Part 2 are my favorite movies of all time. Not only because they're awesome, but also because it holds a special place in my heart because Caitlin and I saw it together. For those who don't know, Caitlin is my sister who passed away in a car accident. So that's another reason that these movies, especially Part 2, just like mean so much to me because we saw it together on the premiere night, and then a few months later is when she passed away. And so it was like super cool and kind of spiritual, actually, that she was able to complete the Harry Potter series before passing away. So it means a lot to me. And I think it's cool that my 2013 self was saying that, like, you know, straight up, like, this is my favorite movie of all time, because I really do kind of treat Part 1 and Part 2 as one movie. So it was really cool reading that as I prepared for this. Okay. William says, I saw this at opening night. Remember when they were at midnight, LOL, and I was 10. I'm old. That's awesome. You think you're old? I think I was 14 when I saw it, so I'm still not old. But you're fine. You're not old. Luke still has his Dare shirt from 1996. Dude, I love that. That's amazing. I consider Deathly as a 3-hour long epic, so I watch back to back as one big story. The crazy thing is, if you put them back to back, it's more like a 4.5-hour epic, because Part 1 is just right around 2.5 hours, and Part 2 is just like a little bit above 2 hours. So together, it's like a 4.5-hour epic, and I completely agree with that. Someday, I would love it if they released one cut of the film where it doesn't cut, where it's just like Voldemort gets the Elder Wand, and then we cut back to Shell Cottage with Harry and the house elf, like Dobby's grave. Like, I want to see a disc someday where it's all one movie, just Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Be great. I don't want to be lazy. I do want to be lazy. I don't want to have to get up and switch the discs. Gosh, I'm just kidding. I actually prefer Part 1 to Part 2. I just love the road trippy kind of feel to it, which I loved in the book. Luke, me too. I love Part 1. I love both of them, but I prefer Part 1 also. That's rare, so that's why I freaked out so much, because not a lot of people like Part 1 more. Holds a special place for you. That's cool. Yeah. Thank you so much. I just love the ending of Part 1, but it's totally fair to consider them one big film for sure. Yeah. That's just my spoiled wants, I guess. That I just want one cut of the film. Yeah, for real. Okay, so what are your guys' favorite scenes from Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2? Or you can still share Part 1. We're here all night. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to be here too much longer. But share your thoughts on your favorite scenes from Part 2. Brooklyn, what's another scene that you loved in Part 2? Okay.
Another scene is when I'm like out of order completely. I'm thinking of the ending, but another scene.
It's hard not to think of the ending.
Yeah, Hermione and Ron are like being attacked by Nagini, and they like know they're gonna die, so they're hugging each other and crying. And then Neville like comes up and
both of us pretend these are swords. Sorry, I had to.
Another is Neville's speech. I think it's beautiful. Okay, one part I hate. Why does Harry break the Elder Wand?
Oh my gosh.
I will never understand that. Why?
Everyone who has read the book, and even the fans of the movie might agree, that is like probably the cringiest scene of the whole movie series. Ugh, like, it's just so freaking... Even when I saw the movie on midnight premiere, opening night, having not read the book yet, I saw it and I was like, that was kind of weird that he just broke the wand. And I almost didn't believe it. So, yeah. Anything else?
I love when Bellatrix dies. My daughter, you beep!
Yeah. Insert American Idol logo right here. I don't. You don't know this, but when we watched American Idol as kids, American Idol, whenever someone cussed on live TV, they would have a little American Idol logo. So whenever there's like a censor in anything, I think of the American Idol logo in front of someone's mouth. But like, not my daughter, you. That's the American Idol theme. Anyways, yeah. Okay, so speaking of that, I want to share a few memories from the theater. So Neville, yeah, his speech is amazing. I remember when he is egging on, this is a different part of the movie, but when he's egging on the Snatchers, and they chase him, he runs across the bridge blows up, and you're like, oh no, does Neville die? But then he like comes up and he's fine.
Where'd you come from? Are you
Tommy, yeah. When you think Neville dies on the bridge, which we all know he doesn't, when he stands back up and he's like, that went well, everyone in the theater was like, yeah! Like, this was the OG MCU. I'm telling you, I miss Harry Potter movies in the theater so much. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because that scene you mentioned, not my daughter, you beep. Everyone freaked out at that scene. Like, it was amazing. It was incredible. One of the best lines of the whole series. So that was amazing. But yeah, part 2 has many good scenes. There are a few comments. So emotional. Like, seriously, just seeing that. So good. Part 1 is a character piece. Part 2 is a fantasy action endgame feel. I could feel that. When you endgame feel, you haven't seen the Marvel movies, but that's like, think of it as exciting as
a lot of people die.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
Oh, that's Infinity War.
Okay.
Are you talking about the snap?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Infinity War. But you're on the right track. Like, there's a lot of people in it, and it's just really exciting. The Snape flashback is possibly the best scene in the entire series. Yes, gosh, absolutely amazing. The way they de-age Alan Rickman, make him look younger, super well done. Snape death to me is well done. Okay, so speaking of Snape's death, not having read the book, that was actually a death that had not been spoiled for me. Like, growing up with Harry Potter books coming out every few years, I knew about Dumbledore's death. I knew about who else did I knew about Sirius Black's death, I'm pretty sure, before seeing the movie, just because like classmates had spoiled it. And Snape, I don't know how, but no one had ever spoiled that for me. And so seeing it on opening night, I remember me and Caitlin turning to each other and being like, oh my gosh, Snape dies? I was not expecting it. I don't know what it is, but I love the whole meeting Aberforth scene. The dialogue is too good. Oh, absolutely. When they meet Aberforth, Dumbledore. Yeah. Did you see him? Could have sworn it was Dumbledore. And then they just like, if you ever noticed, did you ever notice Hermione and Ron eating the food in the background? They're like, like they're so hungry. It's funny. But yeah, that scene is amazing. Talking about how Aberforth supposedly gave up, but like he didn't give up. Even better in the book. But anyways. Okay, the scene when Harry realizes it's time to go and confront Voldemort. The progression of Daniel's acting is insane. He's so great in that moment. The other two as well, underrated scene. Yeah. Oh gosh. I'm not even lying, Luke. Scene is amazing. Yeah, I'm not even lying. I just got goosebumps just reading that.
Like, when I saw it for the first time, I thought, okay, how is Harry gonna get out of this one? Like, he's gonna die. How is this?
You've seen Harry in all these bad situations, but how does he get out of this one? So dumb. Yeah. Neville is a true hero. Screw Harry. Yeah! We all hate Harry. No, but okay, so I wanted to talk about a few nitpicks I have with this movie. And Luke, you will understand because you and I talked about this on Twitter the other day. But Brooklyn, these are spoilers for the books, but I think I told you about all this, so it's not anything too bad. I have. I won't spoil too much if you haven't read the books, but basically the whole final battle at Hogwarts is a lot better in the books. And my only gripe with Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 as a movie is how rushed it feels. Like, it is amazingly paced. There's not one slow moment. Even the moments that you think are slow are not slow because they're just building up for another moment that's exciting. And I think that's mostly because it's a two-parter. And so of course, it's going to be a short Harry Potter movie because it's the last part and it's only going off of like 250 pages or so of book. And so it's the fastest Harry Potter movie and the shortest Harry Potter movie. But with that, there's a lot that they take out of the battle at Hogwarts scene. Really quickly, Lucas saying he's not going to get into it because we would be here all night. It's so true. But I'll just quickly say that my gripe with this one is how they rushed over certain scenes from the Battle of Hogwarts that I love, including house elves fighting the Death Eaters, including Harry and Voldemort having a great showdown where they like circle each other and talk. It's a lot that they leave out. What do you say, bub? I don't know what that is referring to, but it's called an adaptation. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot that they leave out, but at the end of the day, all the Harry Potter movies are good adaptations. I just wish that for part 2, they would have changed a few things here and there, but including the wand, breaking the Elder Wand. But before I say anything else, is there anything else you wanted to say with part 2?
Okay, I think Snape's death is so sad, like so emotional. This is also so sad, like Lupin and Tonks just dead.
Yeah.
I think they should have included their last moments together.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's just an extended scene.
Because there's what she's talking about, because in the book, you don't even see their last moments together. But in the movie, there's a deleted scene where they they talk to they hug each other, and she says, he's like, why aren't you with Teddy? And she's like, he's fine. You need me tonight. You're the one who needs me tonight.
Sad.
It's just a sweet little send off to Tonks and Lupin.
And then Fred, oh my gosh.
Yeah, Fred's death isn't included. His actual death isn't included in the movie.
I honestly thought that was Mrs. Weasley dead. I did not know it was Fred. I was like, oh my gosh, she's dead? That's so sad.
Would you be more sad if it was Mrs. Weasley?
Yeah, probably. She's so sweet.
Anything off the trolley days? Just kidding, it's not even Miss Weasley. I don't know, that was the first thing that came to my mind.
She got hired on the Hogwarts Express.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so the ending, just like when Voldemort is pretty much getting destroyed, Harry and Voldemort are dueling, their last battle together. This is the end of the Harry Potter franchise. It's amazing.
It's so good.
It's crazy. And then when Voldemort's actually dead, it's playing the Lilies theme again.
Oh, yes.
It's so good.
It's that's when every time I see that scene, I think all of this has led to this moment. This 10 years of my life has led to this one moment of seeing this awful bad guy die. An amazing Lilies theme song. Amazing. Such a good scene. Yes, I prefer the book's way of defeating Voldemort, but the movie I think is still, it's good enough. Luke has a really good comment right here. One detail I do love in the book, though, is how Harry letting Voldemort kill him gives everyone at Hogwarts the same protection he had when his mom sacrificed herself. They should have mentioned that because it kind of explained how Molly so easily kills Bellatrix. But it's such a great payback. Yeah, I completely agree. There are some things left out with that. And also, in the final showdown with Voldemort and Harry, that's when Harry tells him that Snape had been working for Dumbledore the whole time. And Voldemort is so close to being, beaten that Voldemort doesn't even care. He doesn't care, but I think he does care. Lucius Malfoy. Dragon Hawk. It's
okay.
What is this, Lucius? It's Dragon Hawk, my lord.
Talk about thick knees.
Pygmy?
Thick knees.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, I have to tell it.
Nathan quoting the trolley witch as Mrs. Weasley has me instead. Anything about the trolley days? Okay. Oh, wait. We'll get to that comment in a second. Brooklyn wants to mention a part in the movie that she misunderstood.
It's so stupid. With stupid subtitles.
Stupid subtitles.
So when Voldemort's one of his Horcruxes get destroyed, I think it's like the cup or something. I don't know. He's like, eh.
Oh yeah, you know that scene where he's like, the Horcrux is destroyed, and like shows him. He's like, ah, like it's just like a really funny noise he makes. So in that scene,
this guy, and his last name is like Thickness, and he's like, my lord.
It's what say you, Pious? I think his name is Pious. It's like, what say you, Pious? I think it's like Pious Thickness or something like that. Thickness.
So he's like, my lord, and he's like, Avada Kedavra. But what I thought he said, because of Nathan's stupid subtitle,
I have to watch movies with captions.
I thought it said, Thickness, my lord, and then he's like, Avada Kedavra.
She thought that. So what it was saying is Thickness is saying my lord, but she read it as Thickness, my lord, and what she was interpreting it as is, you know how like in the second one when Crabbe and Goyle eat the muffins that are floating, and Ron's like, how thick could you get? She thought that the guy was saying thickness, my lord, like
that's why he's like feeling it.
She thought he was saying like a bit stupid, my lord, but no, he was just saying my lord, and his name is Thickness.
So sad. What a sad last name.
I know, poor guy.
Bad for that guy.
There's a deleted scene that Draco helps Harry to give him the wand when Harry wakes him from the dead. Yeah,
you should have included that.
He's like, Potter, and he like throws the wand, I think, but that's not even in the book, so maybe that's why they excluded it. But really cool scene. Brandon's here. Hey, Brandon. Hey guys, I'm sure someone has asked this. Actually, no. We've mostly just been talking about Deathly Hallows, but what are each of your houses? Comment below what your houses are. I think Brooklyn, I can never guess yours. Yeah, and then I wear a freaking Hufflepuff robe in like all my videos, so I'm definitely a Hufflepuff. Trying to see if I have my Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff, right here.
Oh, really? Here? Yeah.
Here's
Brooklyn and me. Can't really see it too well, but anyways.
Yeah, it's too bright. Oh well.
Peter is also a Hufflepuff.
Okay.
Okay. It's funny because I saw this comment before I saw Brandon had joined the chat, and I thought Connor thought I was Brandon, and I was about to say, newsflash, buddy, wrong channel. We're both tall, both have blonde hair. I'm fine with making the Harry Voldemort more exciting for the movie if it makes sense. Yeah, that's fair. Oh yeah, Brando went. I call him Brando. Brandon went live yesterday, but Brandon will be on the channel on Saturday. We'll be ranking the movies, so you guys won't want to miss that. Something I quote a lot in daily life is, yes, totally. We'll take the lot. Pulls out the gold, and then Ron, whoa. I'll catch the next one, bub. Connor, what is with Connor's like confidence in calling everyone bub? I kind of like it. Yeah, I think that's in response to your confusion of thickness, my lord. When Harry and Voldemort fight, the editing before Harry is about to cast his last spell at him is amazing. I don't know if you noticed that. Yes, I love that scene. It's like, I don't know if this is what you're referring to, but it's when it's like cutting back and forth between Harry and Voldemort. It's like, and then it's like, then they start the spell. It's just like amazing. For being just a one spell final duel, they make it exciting. Because, like, in Star Wars, it's variation with, like, lightsabers, occasional force push and all that. But for it just being one final spell, I think it's pretty exciting. That's gold, LOL. I also watch film with subtitles. Thank you.
Yeah, I kind of do, too, because I can't hear what they're saying. But really, who would have a last name? Thickness? What kind of name is that?
It's Pious Thickness, I think.
It's so sad.
One of my fiance quotes a lot is, well, come on then, let's not wait for the grass to grow, and I'll come back later from Azkaban. Yes. I love how I was able to say the voices as it's just like so good. One quote that I love so much is, have a good holiday, Sir Nicholas, or hello, Sir Nicholas.
Wait.
It's just like, I don't know what it is, but it's like, it's hearing stupid Percy's voice, like, hello, Sir Nicholas, like, Percy's just a fool. And then like, he's like, this way to Gryffindor common room. Come on. It's like, they're right behind you, dude. Let them
aside. I'm head boy.
Yeah, in Prisoner of Azkaban, small detail. If you watch with the subtitles, you can see Percy saying, I'm head boy, move aside. Everyone spam bub in chat. No, Connor, please. Okay.
My favorite funny line is Diagon Alley.
Oh, Diagon Alley.
So stupid.
What do you say?
In the book, it's like he sneezes.
Diagon Alley.
Makes sense. He's like, Diagon Alley.
So another reason Harry's not a Ravenclaw. Did you guys know that at King's Cross Station in London, they have garbage cans in front of the walls because kids would run as fast as they could and knock themselves unconscious? Oh my gosh. I could just see that. That reminds me of this time I was in this mirror house. I told this story the other day. I was in this mirror house on a vacation. And, oh, yeah, by the way, Brandon's referring to trying to get onto platform 9 3/4. That's hilarious, by the way. But I was in this mirror house where you guys know what a mirror house is. And there's this girl who was like looking for her friends. And she's like, where are you guys? And like, she wasn't British. And she sees her friends. Even I saw her friends in the distance. So she runs over to her friends, immediately slams into a mirror. Was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. So because sad. When she bumped into the wall, it looked like she got like electrocuted. It was like and then she just falls down and she's like, oh, and her friends are dying laughing. But the crazy thing is, like, well, I thought it was her friends too. Like, if I were that girl, I probably would have slammed into the mirror also. Was hilarious, but I thought of that. Sorry. Random one that sticks with me is in Chamber of Secrets when Harry's with Lockhart and he's hearing the voices, just a dramatic pause. Spooky. Yeah. Yeah. Harry, like, looking off in the distance. Spooky. Yeah, and then, like, him touching the wall as he's listening to...
It's like, it's moving. It's gonna kill.
Let me eat you. Or whatever. Oh, my gosh. Good to see you, Wallenby. Is an all-timer Harry Potter line, too. Horace Slughorn. Anything that comes out of Professor Slughorn's mouth is amazing. There's something about getting someone's name wrong that kills me, and Slughorn is a master at it. What's even funny is he says, I think it's when they're at the Three Broomsticks that he says, good to see you, Wallenby. But it's when he's in the... It's when he's like, Harry visits him with the love potion. Yeah. And he's like, what's wrong with... what does he say that? It's a completely different name.
You're something weird.
Yeah, it's a completely different name.
He like makes up names every time.
That's it. No wrong's name. Oh my gosh, Slughorn. I'm not even gonna lie, guys. Slughorn, high key, one of my favorite movie characters. Book characters too. Book character in the book, he's a little bit more cocky, a little cockier, but movie is so funny. I've also loved the whole sequence. Once the Seven Potters come back to the Burrow, leading into the last will of Dumbledore, it's just like, to Ronald Bellius Weasley. Yeah, Minister of Magic. So adamant about pronunciating Bellius as it should be. What about the one teacher who fell holding Panda Express? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Jackson, you just opened a memory that I forgot I had.
What is it? Just tell us. Tell us. I'm so confused.
All right, so I promise we'll get back to Deathly Hallows, everyone. Jackson, the person who commented to this is a friend of mine from school, and there was one time I thought it was Jack and I. Were you there that day? Were you the one we sent to get help? I think you were the one we sent to get help. So we're walking down the hallway, and there's this teacher walking, and I'm not trying to be rude at all, but she's like a bigger lady, and she is walking. She had just gone Panda Express, and she, like, I think she tripped on a shoelace, bumps into a wall, falls down on her back. Panda Express goes everywhere, and she starts yelling, somebody get help, or something like that. And like me and my friend Jack are like we're the only ones in the hall. So we book it. Like, we run away, and we're like, where are we even running to? Like, it's not like there's just a doctor in the school. And I think it was after school, so the nurse is gone. Don't even remember the end of that story, but that's
so sad.
That's what Jackson's referring to. Was not there, but you guys called me after it happened, cracking up telling me. We were just so shocked. Like, it's so random. When he knocks over the butterbeer and goes, oh, I love that, Granger. Yes. Oh my gosh. So I rewatched, well, obviously I rewatched the movie, but I rewatched that scene preparing for the Deathly Hallows, or the Half-Blood Prince video. Slughorn, one of the reasons I love Half-Blood Prince as much as I do. All hands on deck, Granger. And then he's telling that one story where he's like, I came here when it was just one broomstick. And he thinks he's like so funny, but it's like, shut up. Slughorn, and he's a wholesome character. Oh, McGonagall, Why is it when something happens, it's always you three? I don't know. I'm awful.
Is it 5 years? I don't know.
Oh yeah, Ron. Believe me, Professor, I've been asking myself that question for the last 6 years. Or whatever it is. 5 years, yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
She yelled at you guys for asking, are you okay? And she was like, what do you think? Yeah, that's very true. Amazing experience. Very sad for her. She was okay, though. I'm not a heartless person, guys, I promise. It's one of those things that in the moment I was like, and like we ran, got help, but looking back on it, it's hilarious. But let's get back on topic to Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows. Thank you very much, Jackson, for asking or including that. It was hilarious. Harry asks question. Ollivander creepily slowly leans in the wand. Harry asks question. Ollivander creepily slows in. The wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter. Yeah. The wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter. Yeah. He's like, you talk about wands as if they have feelings. And then Ollivander, the wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter. I'm just kidding. No, he doesn't do that. Ollivander just going crazy. I'm trying to think of any other quotes that I just love from these movies. But let's talk about Deathly Hallows a little bit more. There's not too much more to talk about. In fact, we will probably be wrapping this up pretty soon here. Jackson only brought it up because it made me think of something that would happen to Mr. Longbottom. Mr. Longbottom. Yeah, very true. And it makes me think of Brandon's comment about people running into the walls at King's Cross Station. But one scene we haven't even mentioned yet is 19 years later, the epilogue scene, where they send their kids off to Hogwarts. Super emotional. Every time I see that scene, that's a scene I didn't know about going into the movie for the first time. I don't know if I had read the book, like if I just read that one chapter. If so, shame on me. But I can't remember. But I knew that it like ended with 19 years later, and that scene, seeing them for the last time, with like the leaving Hogwarts theme as it zooms in on the Golden Trio. Absolutely amazing. So good. Yeah, singing in the theater was sad. Every time I see it, it's sad. And it just like, I want to say I've definitely cried before watching it. I didn't cry on this last rewatch, mostly because I cried when I finished the book. So like, no tears left to cry, to quote Ariana Grande. Yeah. Albus Severus Potter. You're named after 2 Hogwarts headmasters, one of which was a Slytherin, and the bravest man I've ever known. I'm awful at impersonations. Thanks.
Better than me, yeah.
McGonagall line, I've always wanted to do that spell.
Molly's like...
What?
Molly's so serious.
Oh, Molly's so serious. She's like... Anything off the trolley? Okay. That makes me happy and giddy. Give it back here, Malfoy, or I'll knock you off your broom! Or in the second one, you'll never catch me, Potter! Harry catches the snitch like 2 minutes later. Neville, why is it always me? Poor kid. Literally gets lifted up by his ears. Like, poor guy. Where is, I don't think you're, oh, yeah.
Extended scene.
Yeah. I don't think you're a space scene. Okay, I have mixed feelings on including that because amazing scene. And that's in the book and everything. And it's they have a deleted scene in the movie, which is really good. But if they had included that, it would have ruined my favorite opening of Obliviate, where it's just the music and the Dursleys moving out, Hermione obliviating her parents, and things getting real. So I have like love-hate relationship with including that scene just because I love the opening. No better fan service than hearing, oh, yep, Albus Severus Potter. Yeah, amazing. Also, I have to say, I think for any Harry Potter fan, Deathly Hallows has to be in your top 3 books. It is that good, and it's so different from the rest. Peter, my friend, you will see in my book ranking tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central on Disney Channel. Just kidding. I don't know what time it will be yet, but you guys will know. Keep an eye out on Instagram and my YouTube page because I want all of you who are in the chat to be there tomorrow. It was such an incredible ending to the series. I was so unbelievably excited. 13-year-old seeing Philosopher's Stone in the cinema, and then I was an adult for Hallows was such a full circle moment. I love hearing someone talk about Philosopher's Stone because it's crazy how like this is a franchise, obviously all around the world. I mean, for crying out loud, the series is from your country, so or from Europe. I don't know exactly where you're located, Luke, but it's in that part of the world. And
Kyle's here.
Oh, sweet. Anyways, yeah. Hey, Kyle. our cousin Kyle.
Hey, Kyle.
Neville's the underdog in the series. Absolutely. Taking a trip, are you? Ron at Lockhart when he's packing up, leaving. Oh, yeah, Harry. Are you going somewhere?
In the video game, Chamber of Secrets video game, Lockhart's talking to Harry. Harry runs away. Harry, where'd you go?
Yeah,
Harry?
Lockhart's an idiot even in the video game and is like awfully video game graphics self. Brooklyn, did you like HP7?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of her
Loved it.
quick ranking for Brooklyn because she won't be here for the movie ranking. She might be in the room when I do it. Well, I don't know, but
might be here.
Brooklyn's going to rank the movies. While she pulls it up, I'm going to read a few more comments. Oh, yeah, we read that one. The delete scene that Harry and Dudley shake hands. I want that kept in. That's what I was talking about. I guess they could have shook hands, but if they shook hands without saying anything with just the music, it wouldn't have made any sense. People would have been like, why did they just shake hands? So Luke's from Wales, so close enough. Okay, thank you. You can see I was struggling. I'm like, you're near there. Kenneth Branagh might have been one of the most perfectly cast characters in the movies. He literally just jumped off the page. Yeah, he's amazing. Oh, let's see. We got.
Oh no, not again.
I don't know why, but the first quote that comes to me is when he's talking about dueling, and he's like, Professor Snape. I don't know why. That's
Snape's
just like yeah, I know.
He does a Flint face.
The Flint face.
All right, I have my ranking.
Wait, Flint? Did somebody say Flint?
They should make a Funko Pop of Flint.
They totally should make a Funko Pop of Flint.
Make a Funko Pop of Flint. He's so weird. I would buy him. I would buy him.
Wait, no, this is not happening. I literally just had it. It's got to be somewhere.
Well,
watching.
You're doing that. I'm gonna do my ranking. So
yeah, what is your ranking? Is this the? Oh yeah, this is the.
I did pictures for all of them. I hope you enjoy. So, number 8, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, because it's awful compared to the book. I mean, to the movie, it's a great movie, but the book, it's awful. Like they skip characters. They skip like
and entire storylines.
Yeah, like
all right, I can't find my conveniently placed moment of talking with Flint, but that's really.
Okay. Oh my god.
No, it's not it.
You just keep it on your desk beside you.
Honestly.
You just sleep by it. Okay. Number 7, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Honestly, I love this movie. Like, I don't know. It's ranked so high, just
so
low because like.
Oh, really quickly.
So
agreed about Goblet. Yeah, same.
Yeah. There's like so many other good ones. So like, I feel bad. It's so low. Sorry. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, such a funny movie. I love when Harry's on Liquid Luck. It's hilarious to me. Plus they have the little... So funny.
Harry, sir. Slughorn, love him.
Number 4, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
That's right. Merlin's bed! When he pops out of the couch. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Merlin's bed.
So, 4 Deathly Hallows Part 1, 3 Deathly Hallows Part 2, 2 Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, and 1 Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I think that's number 1 for me because of the basilisk scene. Harry and the basilisk.
She loves the basilisk.
The basilisk is like so well done in that movie. It's amazing. And like Fox coming, gosh.
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
And Tom Riddle actor is very good in that one. And
someone might have a little crush on him.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Besides
Brooklyn
the fact
fancy,
that he's like
Brooklyn fancies that one.
Besides the fact that he's a
So
downright
stupid.
murderer.
Yeah, I know.
But
It's like literally, I am Lord Voldemort.
I
Right?
think I'm that girl.
It is.
Like looking at Lockhart.
Oh yeah,
And, like,
and Hermione too.
yeah.
Chamber's
then,
underrated.
The 6th one, like the Tom Riddle actor. The second one's better. Let's just say
Oh my
that.
gosh, I think he's a good actor in the 6th one.
He's fine. but
Okay, guys,
the
we
second
have.
one's better.
So Brooklyn shared her ranking only because she won't be here on the live stream where we rank the movies. So save your rankings for that live stream. Talking to you, Gavin. Okay, Aaron, really quickly, when are you going to release the Half-Blood Prince video? I did release it. It was last Thursday. It was the video where I talked about seeing the Harry Potter cast in New York. If you click on that video, the second half is my thoughts on Half-Blood Prince. Where's the Quidditch World Cup? I will never forgive them for cutting that.
Gosh.
Yep. Farewell, Aragog. Yes. The track is amazing. The scene is amazing. Love how accurate to the books the first two films are. Oh, absolutely. Like, straight up, in my opinion, the second movie is the best adaptation of the whole entire series. It's basically copy and pasted. The lead scene that Harry and Dudley shake hands, I want that kept in. Yeah, fair enough. Shows that Dudley knows he was mean to him, yet he decides to reconcile. Yeah. No, I totally see what you guys are saying. I think it's an amazing scene that they should have included it in the movie. It's just like, if they included it, it would have ruined the amazing beginning that I love so much. I knew you were going to get fussy when I threw my quick ranking in the chat. That's right, quick ranking. Gosh, Gavin, you are so salty. I love it. Yeah. Muppets. He'll understand. Guys, I think we're going to wrap this up. We have talked about Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows Part 2, as well as our favorite scenes from Part 1 and Part 2. Really quickly, before I wrap up, though, I want to just say that this has been an amazing series, an amazing experience talking about every movie. I was telling Brooklyn before we went live that I can't believe it is July 15th because I started the series the very beginning of June talking about how I would release a video every Thursday. And this is the 7th Thursday. I can't believe how fast time goes. But if you guys have missed any of the Harry Potter videos, they are in a playlist, Summer of Harry Potter playlist, so you can check them out there. And then before I go, I want to say tomorrow night, we will be ranking the Harry Potter books. I will be joined by Bailey Walsh, a good friend of mine on here, and it's going to be our first collaboration. So super excited about that because Bailey is awesome and a very underrated YouTuber. So stay tuned for that. I will be posting what time it starts soon. And then Saturday night, I will be ranking the movies with Brandon, the Brando critic. So you guys won't want to miss that either. It has been a blast being with you guys this evening. And yeah, any final thoughts, Harry?
Am I Harry now?
I was going to say any final thoughts on Harry, but I said any final thoughts, Harry. Any final thoughts on Harry Potter?
Just love the ending scenes in the last one, and also there's more comments. More
comments will quickly show. He's peppery. No. Screw you, Gavin! Rip. Oh.
Sad.
They've been excellent videos, man. Well done. Luke, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Brando Quiddick. Awesome videos as always. Good night, Nathan in Brooklyn. That's Bernardo. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow night.